Hello, my name is Dayne Voelker, and my first presentation for sports marketing class is called The Great Alliance. Being bad never seemed so good. So, my objectives for this assignment are to define media in relation to television and use ESPN as an example. By doing this, relevant background information will be discussed, such as the NBA Finals, ESPN, and LeBron James. Also, I will discuss how sports marketing and media is a synergistic relationship, and I will also outline that when combined together, sports marketing and media can be a powerful thing. So, without an iconic superstar, basketball ratings fall. So the National Basketball Association, or the NBA, experienced a golden era between the 1980s and 1990s. This period started off first with the drafting of two iconic stars into the league, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and ended with the 6 championships won by Michael Jordan. So basically, during this time, the NBA and the NBA relied on these iconic superstars to really boost their ratings and to increase their popularity. Why were Magic Johnson and Larry Bird such iconic stars compared to other teammates that were on the teams that won championships with them? That is a good question, but they both had very interesting background stories and their great rivalry between the two really pushed them to the iconic superstars that they became. So, Magic Johnson, he was born in Michigan. He was a very sought-after high school basketball player. He was recruited by UCLA and Indiana, very two top-end basketball programs in the college ranks, to play basketball. He turned them down and instead stayed in his home state to play at Michigan State. There, he went to the 1979 NCAA Men's Championship, which is the college men's basketball championship, and there he played Larry Bird. So, Larry Bird's story. He went to Indiana University, a powerhouse basketball program, and then he dropped out. He couldn't adjust to the lifestyle from going from a very small town to the bigger city of Bloomington. So, for a year, he kind of had a job and he went to a community college. Then he attended Indiana State University, where he led his team to the championship in 1979. So, the rivalry between these two started in college, and it only increased and got more competitive in the NBA. So, you may ask, what about the stars of the teams besides Magic and Larry, such as Robert Parrish and Kevin McHale of the Celtics, which Larry Bird played on, and for Magic Johnson, what about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and James Worthy? All those guys that I mentioned were very, very good players, and some of them were Hall of Famers in their own right. But when you think about those teams, you really think about Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. So, the NBA, as I will go on to discuss later, really hones in and it needs its iconic superstars to really drive the popularity of the league. So after Magic and Larry, there's Michael. So Michael took the game to a whole new era, and as you can see at this graph that I have below, that 87, that was the last championship of Bird and Magic, and then after that there was a slight decline, and then when Michael entered the league and he went to his first championship in 91, you can see that the ratings really started to jump up during that time, and they exceeded Magic and Larry's ratings, and then in his final season, 98, it went to an all-time high. So, as you can see here, during this era, basketball was an all-time high. So, what would happen after Michael Jordan would retire? So, after the 1998 basketball season, there was a gradual decline in the popularity of the NBA. You can say that this was due mostly, or in most part, because Michael Jordan retired. So, since the NBA success has always been tied to its superstars, then what was there to do? As you can see here, there are more than the NBA is driven off the success of its superstars more than other American sports, such as football. So, Super Bowl ratings, which is the championship of the National Football League, they're always high because it is unique and it offers so many things. It has the commercials for anybody who doesn't like football or who does, and also people who enjoy the game of football, and the fans of the teams that are playing in it. So no matter what, the Super Bowl usually always has good ratings. Take last year, for example, when the Seattle Seahawks played the Denver Broncos. It was the landslide of a game. Seattle blew out Denver, but it was still a highly viewed Super Bowl because of the other things that were to offer during the Super Bowl. So, after Michael Jordan retired, who would step up to drive the popularity of the league? Well, Kobe Bryant. He was the next iconic superstar of the NBA. But as popular as Kobe was, and as much popularity as he brought to the NBA, he couldn't play forever. So the NBA needed a new superstar to take over the reins. That is where we get the king. So, a very popular superstar entered the NBA in 2003. His name was LeBron James. He was a high school kid who played his high school ball in Ohio. He was nicknamed the King. So, his fellow draft classmates such as Dwayne Wade and Carmelo Anthony would help drive the popularity of the league. They were other superstars until the King was truly ready to take over the throne. First, LeBron needed a little bit help to really become that iconic superstar that the NBA needed. So even with LeBron James and the talent that he had, and he was supposed to be the so-called next Michael Jordan, in his first NBA Finals appearance in 2007, that Finals received an all-time low television rating of 6.2. So, how could the NBA with a superstar like LeBron James receive such low ratings? Well, LeBron and the NBA needed something to really boost their ratings. What was that thing that could really do it? So marketing from the NBA, what could they do to really boost their final ratings? Well, the next thing that the NBA really needed was to insert the media. So, the Walt Disney Company owns both ABC and ESPN. So, ABC, who owns the rights to the NBA Finals, needed the sister company of ESPN to solve the low finals ratings dilemma. So, ESPN has estimated annual profits around $1 billion and a market value of $15 to $20 billion. So it knows how to market and be profitable. So it is a very successful media outlet to market things. So as I was alluding to before, as a media outlet, it is one of the most well-known media outlets in all of sports. Hence why the nickname, the worldwide leader in sports. So now, since we've kind of talked about how the media would play a role into this, let's define media. So, Oxford Dictionary defines media as a main means of mass communication. Mass communication can refer to television, radio, or print. So I kind of like to tweak the definition that I have above and define media as this. It's the vehicle for driving communication on a large-scale level. I use the words vehicle in describing my definition because really, the media can change and drive what it sees fit into its own direction. So, as I will describe later, ESPN kind of drives away from the typical sports journalist integrity that they have in their ethics and their codes and everything, and kind of use their own self-interest to promote the NBA Finals, their brand, and LeBron James. So they kind of drove into a different direction to increase their media brand and to also market the NBA and LeBron James. So, ESPN and the decision. So to help market LeBron James and indirectly help boost the future NBA Finals ratings, ESPN and LeBron James' business team, LR/MR Marketing, struck a deal that would broadcast his free agency choice. So basically, LeBron James was up as a free agent after the 2010 NBA basketball season. So it was a mystery as to where he would go. Would it be Cleveland? Would it be Chicago? Would it be LA? So LR/MR Marketing and ESPN decided to agreed upon a 1-hour television exclusive titled The Decision, and all the money that was earned based from the advertising during the event would go to charity. So, what was the rating of The Decision? Well, The Decision played at 7.3% of U.S. television homes and was the highest rated television program on the night it aired.